For a long time, if you were shopping for an electric vehicle, the answer was pretty simple. You bought a Tesla especially if you wanted ease of charging and a strong mix of tech features. It wasn't just about the car itself. It was about the supercharger network, over-the-air software updates, strong range and efficiency, and the fact that few competitors offered a truly complete package. In many cases, Teslas were the only widely available EVs at a relatively reasonable price. But 2026 feels very different, particularly in the United States. The charging advantage that once defined Tesla is no longer exclusive. Nearly every serious EV manufacturer now uses Tesla's charging standard, and many have direct supercharger access. Because of that, the buying decision is shifting away from infrastructure and more toward the vehicle itself. At the same time, Tesla's lineup and strategy are evolving. Reports suggest the Model S and Model X are nearing the end of their lifecycle focus. Lane centering is no longer standard across the lineup, and full self-driving has moved to a subscription model. Buyers now receive basic traffic-aware cruise control, but steering assistance requires stepping up to the full self-driving package, currently priced at $99 per month. Meanwhile, competitors are closing the gap quickly by offering strong range numbers, more traditional premium interiors, physical controls many buyers still prefer, and driver assistance systems included at no extra cost.
So the modern question
Is no longer simply should I buy an EV? But rather if I'm considering a Tesla, what are the real alternatives? The EV market has matured, and shoppers now have genuine cross-shopping choices in every segment Tesla participates in. Starting with Tesla's most affordable offering, the Model 3 remains one of the benchmark electric sedans. The new base standard range model begins at $36,990 and delivers an EPA-estimated 321 miles of range. Moving up the lineup brings premium rear-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and the performance variant, which tops out around $55,000 before options. One particularly noteworthy trim is the premium rear-wheel drive version, which stretches EPA range to an impressive 363 miles. Tesla's efficiency per kilowatt-hour still ranks among the best in the industry, and unlike earlier years' real-world, range now tends to align closely with official EPA estimates. Acceleration continues to be a defining strength of the Model 3, particularly in the higher trims, where instant torque delivers sports sedan levels of performance.
The refreshed Highland
Interior, introduced in 2024, significantly improved the cabin experience. Ventilated front seats, upgraded materials, double-paned acoustic glass, and a noticeably smoother ride quality all help the Model 3 feel more premium than before. Road noise is reduced, the suspension tuning is more refined, and overall build quality has improved. These updates help Tesla maintain strong appeal in a segment that is now far more competitive than it was just a few years ago. However, the market around the Model 3 has filled in quickly, and buyers now have multiple compelling alternatives depending on their priorities. One of the biggest areas where competitors are gaining ground is interior philosophy. Tesla continues to push its ultra-minimalist approach, relying heavily on the center touchscreen for nearly all vehicle controls. Some buyers love this clean, futuristic layout, but others miss traditional buttons, stalks, and tactile feedback. Several rival EVs now emphasize a more conventional premium feel, with physical climate controls, driver displays, and higher-end material choices. For shoppers who value ergonomics and familiarity, these differences can matter just as much as range or acceleration. Driver assistance packaging is another area where the competitive landscape is shifting. Tesla still offers one of the most advanced and frequently updated software ecosystems in the industry. But many competitors now include robust lane centering and adaptive cruise systems as standard equipment. The move to a subscription model for full self-driving changes the value equation for some buyers, especially those who prefer paying once rather than maintaining a monthly fee. That said, Tesla's software stack still benefits from frequent over-the-air updates that can meaningfully improve the vehicle over time, something not every competitor executes equally well. Charging is perhaps the most dramatic shift in the EV landscape. Tesla's supercharger network used to be a near-exclusive advantage that heavily influenced purchase decisions. in 2026, that advantage has narrowed considerably. With the widespread adoption of Tesla's charging connector and growing supercharger access for non-Tesla vehicles, the infrastructure gap is shrinking. Tesla still maintains one of the most reliable and seamless fast charging experiences overall, but it is no longer the automatic deciding factor it once was. Buyers can now realistically consider other EVs without worrying that they are sacrificing road trip usability. Range and efficiency remain strong pillars for the Model 3, Tesla's powertrain optimization, and software-driven energy management continue to deliver excellent miles per kilowatt performance. In real-world highway driving, the Model 3 often matches or comes very close to its EPA rating, which has not always been true for every EV competitor. This consistency still gives Tesla an edge for drivers who regularly take longer trips or want maximum confidence in range estimates. However, several newer EV sedans are now approaching similar range figures, reducing Tesla's once dominant lead. Performance is another area where the Model 3 still shines. Even the mid-tier variants deliver brisk acceleration and the performance. Model remains one of the quickest cars in its price bracket. Instant torque, low center of gravity, and responsive handling give the Model 3 a distinctly sporty character. That said, some competitors are now offering comparable straight-line speed along with more traditional luxury ride tuning, which may appeal to buyers who prioritize comfort over outright quickness. Ride quality has improved notably with the Highland update, addressing one of the earlier Model 3 criticisms. The suspension is more compliant over rough pavement, and cabin isolation is better thanks to acoustic glass and improved sealing. Even so, some rival EVs still lean more heavily into luxury softness, which can make them feel more relaxed on long highway drives. Choosing between them often comes down to whether a buyer prefers sporty firmness or plush comfort. Technology and software remain core Tesla strengths. The user interface is fast, responsive, and regularly updated. Features can evolve months or even years after purchase, which keeps the ownership experience feeling fresh. Tesla's mobile app integration is also among the most polished in the industry. However, competitors are investing heavily in their own software ecosystems, and the gap is gradually narrowing. Some brands now offer excellent smartphone integration, augmented reality navigation, and increasingly capable over-the-air updates. Build quality and materials are areas where perceptions vary widely depending on the specific vehicle and production batch. Tesla has improved consistency over time, and the Highland refresh demonstrates meaningful progress. Still, some competitors emphasize traditional luxury craftsmanship more heavily, using richer interior trims, ambient lighting designs, and more varied material choices. For buyers cross-shopping purely on interior ambience, this can influence the final decision. Pricing remains one of the Model 3's strongest advantages. Starting under $37,000, with over 300 miles of range, is still a compelling value proposition in today's EV market. When factoring in efficiency, performance, and software capability, the Model 3 continues to offer a well-rounded package. However, incentives, regional pricing differences, and feature packaging from competitors can sometimes narrow or even eliminate that price advantage. Depending on the configuration, ultimately, the Model 3 is no longer the only obvious choice. In the entry-level premium EV sedan space, it remains extremely competitive, particularly in efficiency, charging integration, and software sophistication. But the landscape in 2026 is far more balanced than it was even 3 years ago. Buyers now have legitimate alternatives that may offer more traditional interiors, included driver assistance features, or different ride characteristics that better match personal preferences. What hasn't changed is Tesla's core philosophy. The Model 3 still prioritizes software-first design, strong performance per dollar, and a tightly integrated charging ecosystem. For many drivers, that combination remains highly compelling. But for the first time, shoppers can realistically choose something else without feeling like they are making a major compromise. The EV market has matured, competition has intensified, And the decision now comes down less to infrastructure dominance and more to individual priorities, whether that's interior design, driving feel, included features, or brand preference.